I get to interact a lot with Dexter on the show, and it's almost the opposite of Smoke because Freddy is almost cursed and he barely interacts with anyone on the show.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for movies in Sweden.
Nice to see you.
The pleasure is all mine. So I finished the entire first season of Smoke the day before yesterday.
Wow.
Loving what I've seen, and your part on the show as Freddy is kind of on the side from a lot of the other characters, but you do get a lot to do in this season. So I was wondering kind of how you came into the project and what Dennis told you at the start about where he would take your character this season.
I started by almost something like this, a Zoom interview.
Yeah.
And it went a little better than Freddie's interview in the show, I guess, because I'm now here talking to you. But yeah, I didn't know. I was sort of floored by the storyline and the extremes with which Freddie has come from and lived through and tries to maneuver through. And I wasn't sure how to be able to pull that off. And Dennis was really helpful by saying, just rely on your creative spark, let your imagination roll. And that sort of gave me the clearance to just play and sink my teeth in. Yeah.
Yeah. You've done a lot of shows and movies throughout the years, and I still remember that episode in The Nick with Steven
Oh, wow.
Soderbergh way back. Yeah, I loved that show too.
Yeah.
Having worked for this long, what can you say kind of how the business have changed throughout the years, like if you look back to the Nick and now what is different for you as an actor?
A lot has changed. I mean, we just went through this job. Smoke was the first job for most of the crew and cast, I think, after the double strikes, the actor and writer strikes.
Yeah.
And I have friends who still haven't worked since before the strikes. So this industry is transformed in ways that, uh, skyrocketed and now sort of constricting again. And so I'm extremely grateful to be busy because a lot of my peeps are not working. A lot of people are questioning about leaving the industry. So yeah, we're in flux, big sort of changes, and I'm just grateful to be part of Smoke and just finished shooting on Dexter Resurrection. So two of my biggest
Yeah,
projects.
so that's blessing, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
a suiting name.
Yes. If my character's blessing, Freddy could be called Curse.
Yeah.
The two characters are polar opposites. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I heard that Dennis described or gave you some kind of advice to think about Freddy as the loneliest guy in the entire world or something like that.
Exactly.
So what when he said that, was it something that clicked into place for you? Like, did you know exactly how to do the part then, or
Um, the loneliest man on the planet certainly added context, but the loneliest man on the planet doesn't necessarily need to be self-destructive, you know.
yeah,
So I think that was another element that sort of came to mind because a lot of the choices that Freddie makes that he hopes will move things forward actually make things worse. Um, and I don't know if the loneliest man on the planet would necessarily, but that if that falls in line with that. Um, yeah, but it was definitely a window in. The rest is on the page. Dennis laid it out so magnificently. So it was just like following breadcrumbs to lead to the, to this golden ending.
Yeah, and without spoiling anything, of course, you mentioned that Blessing would be like the polar opposite. Is there anything you can say about that character as well?
Yeah, he is a family man. He's not the loneliest man on the planet. He's well connected. He makes friends with everyone he meets and sort of brings them into his life. And I get to interact a lot with Dexter on the show. And it's almost the opposite of Smoke because Freddy is almost cursed and he barely interacts with anyone on the show.
Yeah,
And anyone he does interact with, it doesn't turn out well. They it doesn't bode well.
yeah. So thanks a lot for taking the time to speak with me today, and I wish you best of luck with both shows that are coming up for you this summer. So uh, hope we get to speak again in the future.
That would be great. I hope so too. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.